The wild robot unfolds in a vivid cinematic style, starting with the stark contrast between the cold mechanical world and the wild, untamed beauty of nature.
The story begins on a stormy night at sea. Waves crash violently against a ship as it struggles to stay afloat in the tempest. A cargo of metal crates is tossed overboard, sinking into the depths of the ocean. But one crate, containing a sleek, humanoid robot named Roz, drifts away, eventually washing ashore on a remote, uninhabited island. As the morning sun breaks through the clouds, the island is revealed in all its splendor, a rugged landscape of towering pine trees, jagged cliffs, and rolling hills. Inside the crate, Roz powers on. Her eyes glow as she scans her surroundings, the cold, sterile light of technology cutting through the earthy tones of the natural world. She is out of place, a machine in a world of living, breathing organisms. Roz's first steps are clumsy. She navigates the island's rocky terrain with a precision that seems out of sync with the environment. Her movements are smooth and calculated, but they lack the organic flow of the animals around her. Birds scatter as she approaches, and deer bound away into the forest. Even the wind seems to whisper of her alien presence. The island is harsh and unforgiving. Roz faces immediate challenges: cold rain, wild animals, and her lack of understanding of the world around her. She watches the animals from a distance, studying their behaviors and adapting to her environment. The scenes are filled with a contrast of mechanical efficiency and raw survival instincts. The visuals are striking. Roz, a figure of metal and circuits, stands in a dense forest, her shiny exterior reflecting the green of the trees. She learns to navigate the terrain, avoiding predators and gathering resources. She builds a shelter, a crude yet functional structure made from branches and rocks. The island is her home now, and she must learn to live in harmony with it. The animals remain wary of Roz. The tension between the wild and the mechanical is palpable, but Roz is patient. She doesn't force herself upon the island's inhabitants. Instead, she observes, learning the unspoken rules of the natural world. Over time, Roz's presence on the island begins to change. The animals, once fearful, grow curious. They approach her cautiously, and Roz, in turn, responds with kindness. She helps a family of beavers build a dam, saves a baby goose from a predator, and even shelters animals during a brutal storm. The island slowly starts to accept her, and she becomes a part of the ecosystem. The relationship between Roz and the island's inhabitants is beautifully illustrated in a series of montages. Roz playing with otters in a river, birds perching on her shoulders, and deer grazing peacefully around her. The island, once a place of isolation, becomes a community. Roz also begins to change. The island weathers her, softens her sharp edges, and her once pristine exterior becomes worn and scratched. Her movements become less mechanical, more fluid, and she starts to understand the rhythms of life on the island. She's no longer just a machine. She's something more, something almost alive. But peace is fleeting. One day, a ship arrives on the island, bringing with it the trappings of the human world Roz once knew. The ship is searching for lost cargo, searching for Roz. The scenes are tense, filled with dramatic lighting and shadows as the humans attempt to capture Roz and take her back to the world of machines. The animals rally around Roz, trying to protect her, but they are no match for the humans and their technology. In a heartbreaking moment, Roz must make a choice: stay with the island she has come to love, or leave to protect her new family from further harm. The island is bathed in the golden light of a setting sun as Roz makes her decision. She sacrifices herself, allowing the humans to take her, but in her heart, she knows she will always be a part of the wild, a wild robot. The final scenes are a bittersweet symphony of images. Roz is taken away, but the island remains. The animals continue their lives, now forever changed by the presence of the wild robot. The camera pans over the landscape, showing signs of Roz's influence. A nest built in her old shelter, a dam she helped construct still standing strong. The film ends with a shot of the island at dawn, the sun rising over the horizon. In the distance, a lone bird flies overhead, a symbol of the bond between the wild and the machine, a bond that can never be broken.
The Wild Robot is a story of survival, adaptation, and the transformative power of nature, told through a lens that captures both the grandeur and the intimacy of the natural world. It is a tale of how even the coldest, most mechanical being can find a place in the warmth of life, and how the wild can be both a sanctuary and a teacher.